What's going on, guys? JSGC here, and we are here for another Manchester City video. Today we're going to be doing my preview of Manchester City's home game in the Premier League against Aston Villa, as you very much feel like this is last chance saloon for Manchester City. 9 Premier League games remain, 9 cup finals, 9 wins is the minimum that is needed, and even then that might not be enough to win Manchester City the Premier League, but we want to be in the strongest position possible. We've got to win every single game between now and the end of the season in the Premier League, and that's got to start in this game against Aston Villa. So before I do crack on with this video, make sure, like always, if you are enjoying the content, then do subscribe to my channel. It is free to subscribe. Social media links, they're in the description if you want to go and follow me on my Twitter, Instagram and TikTok. Email also in the description too if you want to hit me up for any sponsorships for any videos or any general business inquiries. Also, don't forget to leave a thumbs up. 100 likes is the aim. Do get your thoughts as well in the comments below, including your score and team prediction for this game. Finally, this preview is sponsored and brought to you by BetMate. They're running a special £400 pot, paying up to the top 25 places, £120 for the winner. It is £5 to join. It's made up of Manchester City v Aston Villa only. You can select up to 6 players from each side for this pot. It's a free app to download. Link is in the description. It's available to anybody who is aged 18 years old or over, and it is available in the UK only. If you use code JSGC10 on sign up, you'll get £10 in free bets, and you can use them free bets to join this pot for free. There's lots of other available pots as well, more game pots, as well as both teams to score, full-time results, and many other games that you can go and check out with lots of big prizes. It is a great app. I'll speak more about BetMate later in the video. Finally, do remember, if you are going to gamble, do gamble responsibly, and when the fun stops, stop. So on to the match information for this game. This game taking place at the Etihad Stadium in the Premier League on Wednesday, 3rd of April 2024, with an 8:15 PM BST kickoff time, with the game being broadcast live on TNT Sports. Anybody heading to the Etihad Stadium for this game, do enjoy yourself. So our opponents, Aston Villa, formed in 1874, led by manager Unai Emery, currently find themselves 4th in the Premier League, and what a season Aston Villa are having so far. In terms of their form, won 3 of the last 6 games in all competitions. They've won their last game on Saturday, so they've had an extra day's rest on Manchester City by winning at home against Wolverhampton Wanderers by 2-0. A nice, solid win there for Aston Villa. They do have quite a few dangers in their team. In fact, their team, to me, is a quality team. You dig it beneath the surface and you wonder, how are Aston Villa doing so well? You look at their team, you look at their manager, how he's got them playing, and the players getting the very best out of them, and the quality that they've got on the pitch. They are a solid team. Ollie Watkins, Diaby as their strikers, Leon Bailey, Morgan Rogers, former Manchester City man, signed in January from Middlesbrough. They're the options out wide. Douglas Luiz, former Manchester City man, Youri Tielemans, former Leicester man. Their options in midfield. You've got Konsa, Carlos, Pau Torres, Alex Moreno, Lucas Digne, an option on the left-hand side as well. Solid defence, and you've got Emi Martinez, Argentina's #1, in goal as well. Dangers everywhere. It's a solid team. City, they're going to have to be absolutely spot on to win this game. Now, they are missing a few players. Jacob Ramsey, Matty Cash, Tyrone Mings, Buendia, Kamara, all out injured. McGinn suspended as well. Little bit of a blow that for Aston Villa. So I am expecting him to start with Martinez in goal, Konsa on the right-hand side, and Moreno goes on the left-hand side, with Carlos and Torres going as their 2 centre-backs, with Luiz and Tielemans sitting in front of them in midfield. I suspect it's going to be Bailey and Rogers. Bailey on the right-hand side, Rogers on the left-hand side, and Diaby and Watkins almost occupying as a front 2, so it could be a 4-4-2 or a 4-2-2-2. Potentially could also be a 4-4-1-1 with potentially Diaby or Watkins being asked to drop a little bit deeper to support midfield. They could ask their wingers to drop further into midfield as well. They've not really got their midfield options. At the moment, with the injuries that they've got, the depth isn't really there for Aston Villa. They could just choose to go for this. They've got nothing to lose. 4th place, they're sitting there pretty comfortably right now. Obviously, they'll be looking at the Premier League table and they'll be saying to themselves, they've still got to face City and Arsenal away. They've still got to face Liverpool at home. There is the very outside chance that Aston Villa could still win the Premier League. They're going to have to win every single game between now and the end of the season and hope that Liverpool, Arsenal and Manchester City just have a collapse in form, and that brings Aston Villa into the title race. But I think that their mentality right now will be they're having a great season. They want Champions League football next season. They'll want to try and get that signed, sealed and delivered ASAP by not even chancing it with 5th place, guaranteeing 4th place. That will be their aim. They know that they beat City. They outplayed Manchester City at Villa Park. They'll be full of confidence going into this game. They've got nothing to lose. And for Manchester City, we're at the point of no return. We've got nothing to lose. So we may as well have two teams go toe for toe and attacking each other, is what I'm hoping what we're going to see and see chances created. But I think City may look for a little bit more control, a little bit more patient build up, and try and be a little bit more creative than what we were against Arsenal in our last game, and try and be clinical in front of goal as well. So Manchester City formed in 1894, led by manager Pep Guardiola, find ourselves 3rd in the Premier League, so it's 3rd taking on 4th. We're 3 points behind Liverpool, we're 1 point behind Arsenal. Both Liverpool and Arsenal have got a superior goal difference on Manchester City. We've got 9 games left in the Premier League, 9 wins needed, so must-win game this for Manchester City. Now, we have dangers all over the place. Don't need to sit here and speak about the quality that City have, but we can speak about the quality that City don't have available to them in this game. Kyle Walker, more than likely out injured. We're awaiting news on Nathan Ake. He limped off with a calf injury against Arsenal. Ederson didn't make the squad, so I suspect we may go with Ortega in goal once more here. John Stones, he made the squad, which is brilliant, but I'm not too sure how fit he is to potentially start this game, so I suspect that City may choose to rotate 1 or 2 players and then choose to rotate maybe 2 or 3 players against Crystal Palace away from home, thinking about Real Madrid that we've got in under a week's time with games coming thick and fast. And that's the positive that you've got. It's knackering that you're playing so many games in a short space of time, but it's good that if you get a negative result, you've got no time to reflect and dwell on that. You've just got to focus on your next game. So, I'm going to pop up my team prediction now. I reckon we go Ortega in goal. I don't think Ederson will be fit. I think Manchester City may go with Akanji on the right-hand side, Dias through the middle, and Gvardiol starting on the left-hand side with Rico Lewis pivoting more into midfield. You may see him drop deeper. You may see him go on the right-hand side. You may see Akanji go towards the left-hand side in the absence of Nathan Ake. You may see Akanji push further into midfield. You may see Gvardiol drop deeper. You may see him push forward. Who knows what City are going to do? But what we did see from that defence that I've put out here was the same defence once Ake went off injured against Arsenal that looked really solid. Some quality performances at the back. Akanji, Dias, Luiz, Gvardiol, all absolutely spot on against Arsenal, as was Ortega. So I stick with that, and I go with that defence for this game. In midfield, I go with Rodri to go alongside maybe Akanji or Luiz. I'd go with Phil Foden playing behind the striker and Kovacic sitting anywhere that he wants in that midfield. If he needs to drop deeper to get a bit of control for City's midfield, then he does so. If he needs to push further forward, he pushes further forward. But I go with Foden behind the striker. Foden was nullified out wide. I've maintained this season that Phil Foden is at his very best when he's playing in central midfield, when he's playing behind the striker, he's popping up in space and he's giving a little bit more freedom for City. So I go with Foden and I give a little bit of a rest for Kevin De Bruyne. I go Bernardo on the right wing. I was tempted to go with Jeremy Doku. I wasn't too impressed with Jeremy Doku when he came off the bench against Arsenal. Of what I saw, I don't think warranted for him to start this game. I think I give him another cameo, and I'd be saying to Jeremy Doku, you get 20, 25 minutes, put in a good performance. If you do that, you can start against Crystal Palace, and we'll assess ahead of the Real Madrid game. I go with Jack Grealish to start on the left wing and Erling Haaland starting up top. And I think soon questions will get asked of, when do you start to think about Erling Haaland gets rested or dropped or moved to the bench and you put Julian Alvarez in instead? Because at the moment, we're struggling with City are getting sussed and Haaland's getting sussed. We're not getting the very best out of Erling Haaland, and I feel like City need to change it up, and we've experimented too many times this season of going with Alvarez in midfield and Erling Haaland starts up top. I think that Manchester City, they look pretty tenacious, look pretty good when Erling Haaland was out injured and we went with Alvarez up top because it was a little bit more unpredictable And I wonder if it doesn't come in this game, maybe against Palace, that City maybe attempted just to change it up a little bit, just to try and find that clinical touch in front of goal. I don't think it take a brave man to be able to drop Erling Haaland, and I'm not suggesting for any moment that he should be dropped because he's a class striker and you want an option like Erling Haaland. I'm just saying that at the moment teams are sussing him out and Man City aren't finding the best way to get the very best out of Erling Haaland and for the team. And so you've got to look at options. Nobody in the City squad is undroppable. And we've got a great player sitting right behind Erling Haaland, who's great in front of goal in Julian Alvarez. So when does that question get asked is what I'm putting out there. As I said, City will be thinking about Real Madrid. They'll be thinking about Crystal Palace. Not thinking about them too much, but it'll be in the back of their minds that they know that they need to just start to rotate a little bit. And I don't think City will do too much rotation here. I think City will just push to try and play a patient game to try and win this game. I don't think this will be a classic game. And if we can scramble and get a big 3 points here, you can experiment and rotate a little bit more against Crystal Palace because players will be playing for their places against Real Madrid. That will be the motivation there. So to me, you just got to take it a game at a time. It's all about getting through this game. There's some good options there on the bench. As I said, De Bruyne, Doku, Alvarez, Nunes, they're all options for City should we need them. Now, in terms of my score prediction, just don't think it's going to be a classic. So I'm going 1-0 Manchester City. First half goal for Phil Foden and City just to try and dictate the tempo of the game and have a little bit more control. The big difference that we've got here from the game at Villa Park is we do have a full-strength central midfield to go at, including Rodri. So this won't be the same game as what happened at Villa Park. But how good were Aston Villa that evening at Villa Park? They will look for a carbon copy here. So Manchester City, they've got to be on it. This game reminds me of the game that we played in the FA Cup 3 weeks back against Newcastle. And I'm hoping we'll get a similar result with City controlling and being extra clinical in front of goal, which is what we had in that game. We won 2-0 in that match against Newcastle. I would love a 2-0 win here. I'm happy with a 1-0. I'm happy with any win. A clean sheet would be a bonus, but any win for City today will do. For this game. You guys know where I'm coming from with that. Now, just looking at the other fixtures, Arsenal, they're playing against Luton Town at home on Wednesday, 7:30 PM BST kickoff time. So their game will be done before ours. Liverpool play on Thursday night at home to Sheffield United. So we do have a chance to go level on points with Liverpool. We do trail them on goal difference by 5 points. And I'm not expecting Luton Town or Sheffield United to do anything against both Arsenal or Liverpool. So Manchester City, we just got to win our games and hope that at some point some points may be dropped and pressure can be applied, and the only way we can do that is with 9 games remaining, win them 9 games, get the 27 points and see from there where we go. But at the moment, as I said, I just feel like we're at a point now of no return. Any drop points today, I just don't see Arsenal and Liverpool dropping more than 4 points. I mean, at a push maybe 6. I'm not too sure I see that happening though. So at the moment, it's 9 wins is what's needed as far as I'm concerned. Anything less, and I'm not sure City win the league. Now, in terms of my betting tips, I'm going for another clean sheet for City. I'm going for Phil Foden anytime. I don't think Phil Foden had his best game against Arsenal, but I'm backing him here to bounce back, get into a more familiar position in midfield, and backing him to score for Manchester City. In terms of today's video sponsor, BetMate, £400 pot, £5 entry fee. Links and details, they're in the description. Remember, use code JSGC10 on sign up and get £10 in free bets, and you can use them free bets to join this pot for free. There's 6 players that you can select from each side for this pot. The pot code is FF-MCI-AVI. My team, I'm going with Ortega in goal with Martinez on the bench. I'm going with Concert and Luiz as my 2 defenders with Torres on the bench. I'm going with captain Phil Foden and Douglas Luiz in midfield with Kovacic on the bench, and Erling Haaland and Jack Grealish as my 2 strikers with Ollie Watkins on the bench. Remember, do go and check out BetMate. Links and details, they are in the description. Now, next up for Manchester City, we take on Crystal Palace away from home in the early kickoff on Saturday. Thank you very much to the Premier League and the TV picks. They're making life very easy for Manchester City. For Aston Villa, they play against Brentford at home on Saturday, 3 PM. Last note, this is City's biggest Premier League game so far this season. As far as I'm concerned, to do all and end all from here on out. And City need to win the league. Anything else but a win here, I'm not sure I see City winning the league. Expect Liverpool, expect Arsenal to win midweek. Everyone should be expecting that as well. We can't afford any let up. This is must win for Manchester City. So there we go. They have been my thoughts. Do let me know your thoughts, guys, in the comments below, including your score and team prediction for this game. Also, don't forget to leave a thumbs up. 100 likes is the aim. Do subscribe if you're new around here. Press that red button, press the bell, and put your push notifications on. Also, don't forget to go and check out my social media links. They're in the description if you want to go and follow me on my Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Email also in the description too if you want to hit me up for any sponsorships for any videos or any general business inquiries. Big thank you to BetMate for sponsoring this video. Remember, do go and check them out. Links and details there in the description. It is a free app to download, by the way. Remember, make use of code JSGC10 on sign up and get £10 in free bets. I will have my live watch-along link out very soon for you guys to go and set your reminders for. I will be live at 7:45 PM BST, ready for this game kicking off at 8:15 PM BST, so I'll see you then. So, I've been JSGC. Thank you everyone for watching. I hope everyone is safe and well. Peace. Ciao for now.